Well, hey there, Mama, and welcome to the Moms Overcoming Overwhelm podcast. Hope you are enjoying your summer. I'm Emily McDermott, and bringing you today a bonus episode. This is the fourth episode of Coffee and Tea with M&E with my friend Michelle Byrd. And we recorded this in July, and I know a lot of you are kind of finishing up the summer already, looking at back to school. We're having some time with family this week before we start gearing up for back to school. But I think that you will really enjoy this conversation, especially as we are kind of transitioning into different back to school routines, trying to do that in a gentle way, so that the kiddos are not experiencing all of the meltdowns that happen with transitions that sometimes go a little too quickly. So Michelle and I actually had the opportunity to meet in person when she was near me, and we just had such a wonderful time. Love bringing you these bonus episodes, just two moms chatting about what's working, what's not working, and sharing our best tips and advice with you. So without further ado, you can grab that notebook and pen or your coffee and tea and settle in for episode 4 of Coffee and Tea with M&E. And I will be back next week with our regular decluttering content. Thanks so much.
Hey friends, welcome back to Coffee and Tea with M&E. We have Emily McDermott today, and we are just chatting about all things summer and all things that moms do over the summer. So, hey, I'm so excited to see you and hear you.
Yeah. Hey, Michelle. Happy to be back. Yeah, I feel like I'm in the thick of summer now. I don't know if it's because it's been like 100 degrees here, with the heat index over that. And I realized, yeah, summer is my least favorite season. I don't see a lot of redeeming qualities about summer. I know some people love it. Of the four, it's my least favorite. And so I'm just trying to kind of make the best of it, I guess.
I do not like the heat. We were traveling and we just got back from Europe and we went to London and Paris and Switzerland, and people said, oh, it might rain. It could be really cold. Bring jackets. So we brought jackets. We brought like warm stuff, but we didn't prepare for like heat. And it was like 80 degrees every day. And we were schlepping around stuff and just sweating like the entire time.
Oh my gosh, that's the other thing. I know sweating is normal and natural. Like if you didn't, there'd be a problem, but I can't stand it. And then like the shorts and the thigh chafing, and I just don't like any of it.
It's not my favorite. You guys have had like 100 degrees every day. It's been like
Yeah.
extreme heat.
It's like the point where even if you're taking the kids to the pool, just like the act of getting them to the pool, because we live in a neighborhood, which it's really nice they have a pool there. So it's like maybe like a 7-minute walk, maybe 5 minutes, but it's like 5 minutes schlepping all your stuff in 100 degrees. Like, is this worth it? So yesterday we just went to the local movie theater and saw something in the movie theater because I'm like, I don't want to go to the pool today. It's like, so it's crazy, right? It's like so hot. You don't even want to go to the pool. So yeah, I would say as far as like the thing that I'm learning the most right now in this particular season is having a whole ton of grace for myself about like what we do and what we don't do, because I think we talked last time about having kind of like not like a bucket list, but like an idea of like how you want the summer to go and the things you want to do. And I still like loosely have that idea. But for me, I'm like, even if we just go to the local ice cream place a couple times, go to the pool and just sort of like sleep in and hang out, I'm okay with that. Like my bar is so low for what a good summer is going to be, because yeah, it drains me. Like the heat drains me, having the kids home drains me, and I hope I'm not alone. I'm not trying to sound like I'm complaining.
I think you're with every mom. I think you set your standards high. I saw a really funny Instagram post of this one guy. He was saying the first couple of days like before summer vacation, you're like, my kids are going to be on track. We're going to have an organized schedule, and you're going to eat regular food, and we're going to do all these things. And then the second week, it's like, what? You want a popsicle for breakfast? Okay. Have you finished your real breakfast? Okay, fine. And then by the third week of summer, it's like, you want a popsicle for breakfast? Sure. Just whatever. Like you just like it's at the end of your rope, but like 3 weeks in.
I know for my kids, if we ever did that, they would, especially my youngest son, Sean, he remembers everything. And he would be like in the dead of winter, he'd be like, do you remember on June 25th when you told me I could have a popsicle for breakfast? Well, it was okay. So why can't I have one now? So we have to be, my husband and I have to be like in lockstep with each other because, and then of course they go to the other one. Like, okay, well, what did mom say? Well, mom said no. Well, I'm going to say no, right? Because they
Right.
think they're going to get a different answer from the other parent. And like, no, that's not going to happen.
I love like going to each one of you. And you're like, what did the other one say? We're united. We're a united front.
We try to be at least. I mean, and I will say, I always think about, you know, parents who are divorced or having that co-parenting relationship and they're going from like one house to the other and they're like, well, mom lets me do this. And it's like, are you texting the other parent? Be like, did you really let them have popsicles for breakfast? No.
At that point, you just have to be like, this is my house. This is their
Yeah,
house.
I know. Oh my gosh.
Too many things. But yeah, kids are definitely, our kids have been, so we went to Europe, we came back, and then they had all the jet lag and all the like tiredness and like, okay, we're finally kind of getting back. And now they're like, we're bored. We've done all the things. We sleep until noon and we like can read our books and hang out. And my husband and I are like, we got to finish work. We got to like catch up on stuff. Like, we're not your cruise directors. And so they've had to like, okay, well, what are you going to do? So the boys the other day they found a piece of, I don't know, they found some kind of thick paper and they cut it out of somewhere. Don't worry, mom, we used the knife, but we didn't cut off any of our fingers. So we're okay. Like, great. And then, did you cut that on the counter? No, we used a cutting board. Okay, great. Good. And then they attached this big wheel to a cereal box, like an empty cereal box. And they found a nail. They stuck it in the middle of it. And then they wrote on it all these different things to do. And so they spin the wheel and then they pick something to do.
Wow. Well, just so you know, it's not as fun and not as resourceful, but there is a website called wheelofnames.com and it's like you can just put the things there so they could, listed out all of their things and then spun that wheel and not maybe lost a finger, but that's okay.
I know. I was like, you did what? Okay. All right.
Oh, I do. I also,
you're done.
my kids also kind of have that I'm bored, what can I do type of thing. And I'm like, do you see, like, I'm doing like I'm trying to make you dinner or whatever. And so but being a declutter expert, I just kind of am like, well, if you don't like such and such, I'll just get rid of it. They're like, oh no. So then suddenly the things that they own are more interesting to them. But the basement is, of course, the coolest part of our entire home, meaning temperature wise. And they have been making like pillow forts and different things down there because and we have a foosball table and stuff. Yeah, I have them in some camps, a couple camps that are like the full day, but just for economic reasons and for other reasons, we're just, we're not doing that for the entire summer. But
Yeah.
I think I told you last time that they stayed with my parents and my in-laws for a week and they were separated, which was genius for my parents and in-laws so they didn't have to deal with them bickering all the time. But it was so strange. I had such, they're, 7 and 9. I had such mixed emotions because it was so quiet. It was so quiet. And part of me is like, this is the most glorious thing in my entire life. And to have like a week of quiet. And the other part of me felt strange. Like I felt very dysregulated. And my husband was saying, well, it's because you're off like the routine of kind of like what you're used to and what you're used to doing. And it's true. And of course I missed them, but it was really helpful for me and Pat just to kind of have that time together. We like went and saw a movie, in the theater and kind of did little day dates and stuff. And it was just really special. And we're hoping, fingers crossed, that the grandparents will do this for summers to come. But I don't know if you've ever had the thought, Michelle, when you're like, if I had time, I would do X, Y, and Z. And it's like all the projects that you've been like putting off and the things that you're just like, this isn't a good time. I did not do any of those things.
Good job.
So
Good job.
now the excuse is like never valid. Like, and I feel like my entire motherhood has been waiting for the next season of their lives so that I could have the time to do the things. And it's been almost this resistance, this friction, this sometimes resentment. And then I actually have the time. And guess what? I still don't do it. So that's just to be relatable. And then also, if you're kind of like wishing for these other seasons or wishing, like, oh my gosh, if I had a week to myself, I would do all this stuff. Like maybe you're different than me and you would actually do that. But really, I just wanted to rest and I just wanted to not cook and not have to do anything. And it was really great. So it was kind of, again, having grace with myself that just because I didn't get all of these big projects done, it's okay. And I was doing exactly what I needed to do for that season. So I don't know if you've experienced that, like if your kids have gone away and it's just been you and your husband and kind of like feeling that mixed emotions of that.
We haven't had that where we're home and all the
Yeah.
kids are away. We did one year. It was a magical year, and we were able to align 3 camps for all 3 kids for the exact same week. And so all 3 kids were in camp, sleepaway camp for the exact same week. And so we went to Mexico. So we didn't stay at home. But then we realized that it was a little too much because our youngest now does not like sleepaway camps. So he was like a little too young to do that one. So it would have been a good idea like later, but now he kind of was scarred from it. So now he does not want to do sleepaway camps. Although I think he's getting warmed up to the idea because his brother and sister still love them. And so he hears about them. So at some point he'll like do them. But the funny thing was both boys, they were at camp together and they each told their separate counselors that the day that we were supposed to pick them up on Saturday, that my husband and I were out of the country and we were in Mexico and we weren't picking them up.
Great.
So the counselors freaked out because they were like, you have to come pick up your kids. We have like another week of camp the next week. Like, you have to come get your kids. And so they were freaked out and they called and we said, no, we're on our way back. We're coming back. We know we'll be there at 10 o'clock on Saturday or whatever it was to come pick them up. But they'd each told their counselors separately, no, they're not really coming back. I don't think they can pick us up then.
You have child protective services there when you show up.
Of course. Yeah. Like, what are you?
Oh my gosh. Oh my. Well, yeah, we're not.
Like a week at home.
Yeah.
But I think, there's so many of those projects that you're like, oh, I can't do this right now. Right. But I think often we see, at least for me, you probably do too, because you're very visual and organizational, where you see all the projects in your house. And then those are the ones that you gravitate to doing first. Whereas sometimes projects are either digital or they're online or they're personal. I haven't ever read these books I wanted to read or sat down and rested or journaled. So it's just a different viewpoint. I tend to like gravitate to the visual.
Yeah, I think that's normal because it's like, depending on where it is in your home, it's like the unfinished project that's just like the eyesore that you keep seeing over and over and over again. Whereas one of the main projects that I still have pending is like a digital one. And so I just kind of like forget about it. And then I kind of go into my, task list or workflow or whatever. And I'm like, oh yeah, like I wanted to work on that. And there are some things that I was doing that I don't usually do. I usually read nonfiction, mostly about things related to the podcast. So, organization, personal development, all that kind of stuff. And that's great. But I actually read some fiction books while the kids were gone. And that felt like a nice break for my brain because I don't normally seek those out. I never know like what's quote unquote good. It was just nice to kind of read something somewhat mindless and then kind of have that break. So again, I'm really trying to see summer as, okay, things are kind of almost like a wintering concept and that things are kind of dormant. Like things are happening and I'm keeping up with things, but I'm not initiating anything new. I'm not trying to like spearhead any new projects for like work. It's just having that grace of even if everyone is kind of like when the kids were real little, like even if everyone's just kind of fed and bathed and we go to bed, like that's okay. Like
Right. You did
that's
a great job.
it's a successful day. And that's been really helpful for me. Now, what I'm kind of concerned about, and I don't know because I know you talk a lot on the podcast about back to school and we're not quite there yet, but it's almost like we see kind of what's coming, at least I do, which makes it hard to kind of enjoy just the summer part of summer. But I get some of that anxiety, sort of like the, okay, well, soon it's going to be back to school and like, what do we have to do and what do we have to prepare for? So do you have any tips on how you're able to just kind of like enjoy summer without looking forward and kind of having the stress of like, oh, back to school is actually not that far away? Because I want to like enjoy, except for
Right.
the 100-degree heat, I want to enjoy what I can, regardless of all the things I don't like. But the time with the kids and, we have like some vacations, like a beach vacation with extended family coming up. I want to be able to really enjoy that and not be thinking about like what's coming down the line. But yeah, I would appreciate from you, mom to mom, and then also with what you do, any advice on kind of staying present in summer, I guess.
Such a good question, because I think we all do that. As moms, we're always looking forward. Like, what do we have to prepare for? What's coming up? What's even in the school year? You're looking towards summer and what you're going to do then. And so it's a natural, I think, tendency, and it does help you to plan forward. But yes, then the opposite is that you're not enjoying like right where you are. I think that the main thing that's helped me, so we're not really good at this yet, but after a while, I think I've learned that we need like a couple weeks to get into the summer rhythm and then a couple weeks to get out of the summer rhythm. And I find that if we have those longer runways, we're much better and we're much better prepared. We've done camps like almost right until the week or the week of school starting. And we realized that was way too much, that they needed a week before school starts to mentally prepare, to start getting excited about school and go school shopping for stuff. Of course, the boys don't care. And my daughter wants to do it online and has like 100 different things of outfits and stuff she wants to pick out. She wants to go to Target. And the boys like could care less. Maybe they'll come because they're bored. Or if we get a snack or a treat, they're definitely there. But, you just have to do whatever works for either kid. I know I've talked about like some kids, as I said, like shopping that way. Some like just picking stuff out online and having it delivered by Amazon. So find what excites your child. But yeah, I found that we just need like a little bit of a runway. And then even, I think one of my friends who's a teacher said it takes 4 to 6 weeks to get in the gear of school. And so even just giving yourself the leeway of knowing August is going to be really tough because we're starting and all of August, we're going to be getting into that gear. Just knowing that it's going to take a few phases and kind of a longer time.
Yeah, that's really good advice. And now I'm thinking to myself, when do we have camps? Like, do we have that buffer time? I'm not really sure. But I think that also, they're not doing anything like extra, like they not doing swim team. I think they might have like a summer basketball thing, but it's like once a week for an hour. So, I'm okay with that. So there's nothing like very heavy, sports wise. And I think for me, it's just kind of, again, like you said, understanding that transition might take a little bit longer, that the kids, especially my sweet youngest boy who tends to be more grumpy. Love you, Sean. That he needs a little bit more time schedule wise. Like if he perceives that he's being rushed for anything, he just really bristles. And then when you're moving from more of a fluid summer schedule to the fall schedule, that can sometimes be more difficult for some kids, to be able to do that.
Because you're all of a sudden in summer and you're sleeping in and you're going to bed late and you watch movies and you're doing all the fun things. And then all of a sudden you're back to like, I have to get up at 6 and I'd be out the door by 7 and school starts at 8. And then I have this homework and it's a huge jump. So the more that you can make that an easier transition, like that week, start making lunches and start going to bed about the right time, start that slow transition. It helps it helps everybody. It helps me and everybody to just kind of get on that same page.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think that, we do have some structure to the summer because if it was completely loosey goosey, I would go crazy.
I know, I hear you.
So we do have some structure to it. And then we have some things that are like the summer reading challenge. And I just want to mention that because I think that a lot of libraries offer that. But that's one of our favorite activities because the kids get a coupon book that ends up being for like cookies and a free frosty and all of these things. And then there's an app where I can actually like scan the barcode on the back of the book and then
Oh,
log their
that's
books.
easy.
Yeah, to make it really easy. And that's just something that has been encouraging them. Of course, they like going to the library, but to have that more incentive of being, reading when they're like, I'm bored, there's nothing to do, then it's, oh, well, why don't you read so then I can log your book. So then maybe we can get that coupon book. And interestingly enough, our library has one for adults too. And then it has
Oh,
prize.
fun.
Yeah, it has prizes like concert tickets and things. It's pretty amazing. And it's for reading, I think, like a half an hour. And that's a good thing. I mean, I usually do, but just to kind of have it be a little incentive for me. And again, with the fiction reading, just kind of like having a different focus. So I know a couple different things. And then I found out from the kids' elementary school when I was growing up, there was Book It from Pizza Hut. I don't know if you remember that. Maybe you're too young to
No,
remember that. Okay, so Book It. Book It was that you would like read a certain number of books and you'd have this like button and stars on it for the books, and then you get like a free pizza.
that's
Pizza Hut.
awesome.
And I was like, okay, throwback to the East. I didn't even know this was a thing, but apparently there's Book It from Pizza Hut and some other things. So that has been helping us also with the screen time and like managing the screen time. Because I feel like that's kind
A
of a
huge
big,
thing.
huge thing in that, at least for my kids, if there's one iota of I don't know what to do, can I watch TV? Like, can I do this? Can I be on the tablet? I mean, my other son is like, can I go on Amazon? I'm like, for what? He's like, I want to look for Lego things. I'm like, I don't want you in front of a screen.
That's
Then
hilarious.
then it goes back to the cruise director conversation where it's like, well, what do I do then? Well, we have plenty of things in the house to do. I'm like, or you could help me as I'm doing laundry or like cleaning or whatever.
No, no, no,
So,
no. I'll find something.
oh my gosh. So that, has been the tension between activities and kind of like what they want to do. And so I like having a little bit of structure and okay, maybe we're going to go to the park early in the morning or maybe do like a museum or something, but then having the afternoon to maybe go to the pool or chill or read a book, watch a movie. And I find that my kids sometimes are more tired in the summer than they are during the school year because of the heat, I guess, or just
Yeah.
kind of like all these activities. So then I always feel like a pro parent. I'm like, yeah, my kids are tired at
My
like
kids are
8 p.m. and they want to go to bed. This is amazing.
No, my kids are like, it's 7:30. It's like 8 o'clock. And we're like, we're tired.
Yeah.
Like, we know it's going to take an hour to get ready for bed. It's not like we're going to bed at this exact moment. But yes,
Yeah.
they're like, we're not. But yeah, I think it's the heat. The heat definitely drains you. It just zaps your energy wherever you might be. So you are definitely dealing with heat. Do what you can. Yeah, our kids made, I think what our middle guy, Boaz, they love late make lemonade. So they know how to make lemonade. I'm like, sure, fine, just don't get it everywhere. So they make lemonade. They were like, we're gonna make lemonade popsicles. I'm like, great, do it. You hate popsicles when I buy them from the store, but you made them and now they're like, it's the best. So they made them and they had a great time. And so that kept them busy. I mean, they're finding things. And as I said, I love to like strategically kind of be home, be gone, and then be home for a week and then be gone. And my kids are so funny. They complain about that all the time. Like, Mom, all we're doing is trips. We're just gone all summer. I can't see my friends. But we're home like these other weeks. And then by the time that week happens, it's just what you said. Like they're bored. They're like, what can I do? And so then I'm like, I'm happy you can pack. We're leaving. Like we're like next trip.
I am curious, especially doing a European trip, was there any pointers or best practices for those of us, and maybe not going, across an ocean, but as far as like packing or the traveling with kids? I know your kids are a little older than mine, but any tips on kind of like making that as painless as possible that you want to share?
Well, definitely pack the less you can because you're schlepping everything everywhere. But the kids were so good. They did a great job. So my mom went with us and she's almost 80. And so she went a lot slower. So we often had to stop where we were and wait for her to catch up, or somebody would walk with her and somebody would walk with the fast group and we'd kind of swap. The kids would often take her luggage or her backpack or her stuff so that she didn't have to carry it. So they were really good about that. They got really good about navigating trains and what we had to be on. There's often a lot of like waiting time. So we brought like everybody brought a deck of cards so we could play cards together if we were waiting. We were often just hanging out waiting on like a platform for a train. And so we'd just be silly or we'd play hand games. They like to play one that's like something ninja and you like can only move one arm at a time or one leg. And you try to like get people out. And so we'd play these weird games. We probably looked really funky, but we would just like do family bonding stuff. On the flights were actually really great with like older kids. We had all their electronics like geared up and everybody had a battery pack, like a little small one.
Mm.
And so they could keep their stuff kind of running. So everybody had a great time. We'd play games with each other because I don't know, the console that you had on your seat, you could pick to play a game with somebody else. And so we'd play games against each other or we'd watch the same movie. So if you like lean over in somebody else's seat and you share the little ear thing, you can watch the same movie. So we just had a great time like doing, you have to just be really flexible and bring some snacks and don't bring too much stuff.
Yeah, I forget for what trip this was. I don't remember where I was going, but I was like, I am going to get like a backpack and I'm going to get some of those like packing cube things to help me. And it actually worked out really well. And because my husband kind of like put me up to a challenge. He's like, you are a minimalist, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, then you should be able to travel just with a backpack. And I'm like, I don't want to just travel with a backpack. But I will say, I was going to Florida. Previous times when I have gone to visit my parents' place in Florida, they're snowbirds, so they're there kind of half the year. I would check a bag, or it's like they kind of like force you to check a bag sometimes, right? If you get on the plane too late. And it was like waiting like 2 hours for my one bag for like a weekend because there was some issue with it was the wrong, luggage area. I was a mess. And I'm like, never again, never again. So I actually was able to have for this backpack in the packing cubes where it could fit under my seat. Heck yeah. So that way, even if the overhead compartments were completely full, it doesn't matter because I could get it all the way under my seat. And now I'm like, I want to do that for as many trips as I can and really challenge myself to do that. So I have a Mexico trip coming up with some girlfriends just for 48 hours. Just like a weekend thing in October. And I'm like, I am going to bring that. I am going to bring as few things as possible. It's for 48 hours. I'll be totally fine. And so I like the charging battery thing idea because I do not, I think my husband has one. That's a good idea. And I love the kind of having like decks of cards or maybe like conversation cards or something. Those are always kind of fun. So you have like a non-screen way to fill some of those like little pockets of time because you are waiting so much when you go on trips because you're waiting for the museum or you're waiting for like if you go to Disney World, you're waiting in line maybe. And so I really love those ideas. But yes, the packing less is so near and dear to my heart now. What else can I not pack? So I'm looking into those travel shampoos that are like bars, so you don't have to like do the liquid thing. So like minimizing my liquid so that I can just, I don't know. I'm very excited about it now.
Great job. Yeah, I need to pack less. Packing cubes are the best though. We do love packing cubes because they also keep your luggage and everything really organized. And so if we do need to, oftentimes when we get to like TSA or we're checking in our bags, if one person's bag is over the amount, usually it's mine, then it's easy to swap things, right?
Yeah.
You can grab one thing and like put it in the different spot. The boys were funny because they all three shared a room, my husband and the two boys. And then I shared with my daughter so that we had an adult in each room because we couldn't, because we're a family of five, we couldn't have like a giant, hotel room every place we went. So the boys did the thing where they had all their dirty clothes in like one suitcase, and then they shared the other suitcases of like clean clothes or what else they had. So it's an interesting packing idea of like either communal packing, like somebody takes a small suitcase and their shoes are in somebody else's suitcase, or just packing lightly in whatever size you have. We also found that the types of suitcases, some of them, the frame itself is really heavy. And so to get a frame that's lighter is really key.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a really good point. Yeah, now because my kids were staying separately at separate grandparents' house, I had to actually for the first time pack their stuff separately. Normally, they were the same size. I just throw everything into a bag and they're boys, right? They don't really care. They're not like, that's my Under Armour t-shirt. Like they don't care. And so it was interesting though, because I was like, oh, okay, at some point they're going to probably want to pack separately, and just keeping in mind some of those ways to like make it super simple for them too. But yeah, I love any way to reduce this, because then when you are on your trip, you're like, why did I pack so much stuff? And then the person that was packing was like, I obviously need all of these things. It's like two different people.
Yeah.
So
We did definitely find the less you have, the better. Because since we were schlepping it around everywhere, you're carrying it on and off trains, you're carrying it up and down stairs, you're carrying it on the metro.
Yes.
So the less that you have was easier. Also having outlets, because they're all different, right? But having those outlets in your backpack or handy was easy, because you'd be on a train and you could charge your phone or you could charge something, but you needed a different outlet or a different adapter.
Yeah.
We found that having those easily available was also super helpful.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I know we normally talk about like what we had to do to pivot. For me, it was my mindset about actually what I'm going to get done. So just being more realistic and grace filled with myself. And that has decreased my stress considerably. And then I am also just super low bar with the meals, just like literally like what the kids I know they're going to eat, and just being like, this is great. You want pasta every other day? Fine. We'll just do that. And I don't care. So have you had to pivot with anything over the last month? I mean, I know you're traveling, but anything like at home?
Just having things everywhere. You probably have this where, when your kids are at school, you can keep things pretty clean. You kind of have your routine of like, oh, I'm cleaning up and then the house looks like this, and then this is what's happening. I have to like just have a bit more grace of like, there's projects in the kitchen that are not mine that they'll come back to, or there's, blankets and books all over the living room because they were reading and hanging out. And so just being a little bit more gracious with like thinking mentally, like, okay, that's not a project I need to take care of. And also to ask them to clean up rather than feeling like, well, I just need to go clean this up. I think that's a place where definitely I've needed to pivot over the summer.
Yeah. The other thing, I think what we typically will do is either watch a show after dinner or like a movie sometimes in the late afternoon. And so if they've made the pillow for it, or if they've been reading, or if they've done anything, all these things, then it's okay. Well, if you guys want to watch such and such, then we're going to clean up before that.
Right.
Because I find like after dinner and showers and stuff, they're just like they don't want to do anything. So trying to have that kind of tidying mindset. And I will help. Like if they have, 15 pillows out, I'll take some up and I will help them. And they appreciate that, because for some reason, the thought of doing it themselves, they just, as I like to say, become wet noodles. And they're just like, oh, I can't do it. It's too much. I'm like, okay, that may have worked when you were 2. Oh my gosh. But just kind of, extending that olive branch of like, okay, I can, do this with you and kind of help you out. But before we're going to do kind of this next fun thing, or go out for dinner or go out for ice cream or whatever, we're going to kind of like reset a bit. And one of the things that's really helped me, especially in the summer where you might have more like library books or books than normal around, is we have kind of one spot, like one shelf that's for the library books in the house.
Yeah.
And so that way, and if they have like a library book in their room that they're working on, that's fine. But we don't have like multiple books everywhere and having to find them. That's like one of my pet peeves, is having to find things in the house, like books or anything. So it is just kind of like, okay, so are you done with this? Great. So it's going to go back here. And for the most part, they know that and they put it back in one spot. But it really helps kind of decrease the stress of like, or pool stuff. Like we have one big bag, all the pool stuff is there. You know, when they get back from the pool, I just throw the towels and the bathing suits into the wash, kind of run that so that pool bag is always in one spot. It's not like, where's my where's my goggles and where's the water gun and all of that. And keeping it in one spot and with the things that are supposed to be in it, I think is key because they'll just come in and it's just like the goggles and towels and it's like in a literal puddle, like on my floor.
Everything just gets stripped off and they just like wander into the house.
I know. So it is, again, that teaching and reminding, but it helps my mental sanity just knowing, okay, pool bag, like it doesn't matter if I'm taking them or my husband's taking them. Here's the pool bag. Everything's in it, go. So that has been helping me a lot to maintain my summer sanity, I guess.
Yeah. We used to have a pool bag when we went to the pool, and that was definitely a summer sanity. The other sanity saver was doing showers at the pool and getting that done. That was another like huge thing.
Yeah.
So fun talking and like hanging out. And next time we get to meet in person.
I'm so excited. Meeting in real life, kind of in my neck of the woods. I mean, as much as I would love to fly to California right now, that would be great. But yes, we're going to be meeting in person. So next time we can talk all about how fun it was to meet in person.
Yeah, that'll be great. Well, have a good rest of your summer till I see you. And thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks.